Tango do Jesha Jerzondro, Jinja Modo do Jabanjomba, Serjalomba, Davaraji Bogo, Shaja Jabajat, Gujanzo, Durja Janja, Delo Naruda, Mavamala, Chujagambo, Pamojava, Javandogomba, Kajulamanam Jada, Jonje, Idanandana, Zerodam Jada, Lamala Bela, Jesus. Lo song yong den jam zeng a la wa den zhe dong jen zhe bai ge le zo da ge lu qu san zhe war zhen jie lab de ju lam dun zhe war zhen jie lab de zo lan zhe wa ze war zhen jie lab de zo zhe wa yi xi san jie war zhen jie lab de zo gang ge den jian zhe war jiong ga ba me ba jie ba me ba ta me ba wa me ba zhuo me ba ta de do me dun jie me zhu ba nie xie xie den ba zu bu san jie ma nan jie dan ba de la zhang zar du zhen jian za ba la ma jie jie gu zong do jie zhen lan da da ge ju lan be de da ge dan ba dan sim jie jia dong jia jian ban zhe ba zhen jie la de zo. Dear Dharma brothers and sisters, today I will teach on the jewel lamp of Bodhicitta. It was written by Khenpo Tenzin, who is a great Bodhisattva. One day I will tell you about his biography, but today I will not. Today I'm not, because I cannot finish everything at the same time. If I have two tongues, then I can. But sometimes I just ask about myself. We have two ears, right? But why we don't have two tongues? I'm just kidding. Yep. So I really like this teaching because I thought it has great benefit for Dharma brothers and sisters who listen this teaching. Also, it will help me. Actually, I received this teaching from Bodhgaya, from His Holiness Dalai Lama, within the Kalchakra empowerment. So actually this is quite easy. When I read the verse, you will understand, but still I will explain on there. This first verse, it says, gazing with undivided faith at the Buddhas, their Dharma, and their followers, I seek refuge in and pray to them. I think all religions practitioners need faith. Buddhist practitioners also need faith. Here, faith means complete trust or confidence in the three jewels. The three jewels are Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. We especially need the three kinds of faith. Aspiring faith, yearning faith, and trusting faith. Aspiring faith is when we see the qualities of three jewels and we feel inspired. Yearning faith is when you admire the qualities of the three jewels and you want to become like them. Trusting faith is knowing that three jewels will not betray you. Betray, right? In this life, next, and Pardo life. There is also a fourth step of faith, which is that whatever obstacles arise, it does not change one's strength of mind. This comes through listening, reflecting, and meditating on the Dharma. Just as Khenpo Tenzin Jamsi took refuge with these four kinds of faith, so do we also need to take refuge with these four kinds of faith. Actually, faith is the foundation of the qualities that come through practicing the Dharma. So there is a saying from the Sutra that a person with no faith will not receive blessings. As they say, if a seed burns in fire, it will not grow green sprouts. We need to cultivate faith deeply in our heart, not just by mouthing words. Even if you don't have concerns about your next life, if you face overwhelming difficulties, you may become suicidal, and here faith can help you. If your mind has strong faith, then this faith will hold your hope. It is like you are on the edge of a cliff, and your faith brings you back into the center of the path. Normally, our favorite words is trust. Trust is like the sun at dawn, whereas faith is like the sun full shining at midday. When we supplicate, it is like this example. If you are going to pick an apple from an apple tree, you will use your hands, but the main activity comes from your arm. Without your arm, your hand could not pick the apple. Likewise, if you want to receive the Guru's and Yadam deities' blessings and siddhis, supplication is important, but the main thing you need is to have faith. Sutara it says, whoever has faith, the Buddha is always in front of them, and from him they will receive empowerment and blessing. Faith is like a wheel, it brings on the path of Dharma. Faith is like a treasure, from it you receive all qualities. So you have great faith and devotion, you will receive great blessings. If you have little faith, you will receive little blessings. If you have no faith, there will be no blessings. Sorry. but I hope we all have faith. If you have great faith, then you receive great blessings, like in this story. Once there was an old woman who had a son. Her son often went to India for business. The old women, or old his mother, right? His mother a request of her son. She said to him, India is the land of the Buddha. Please bring me an object I can prostrate to from there. She often asked, but her son always forgot. And so she had no object to prostrate to. Finally, as he left on another trip to India, he said to him, this time, if you don't bring me an object to venerate, I will die right in front of you. On his return from the tap, as the son was coming home, He remembered that he was supposed to bring back a holy object for his mother. But again he had forgetting, and he had none. He had none. He thought to himself, what should I do? Uh, if I don't bring here a holy object, maybe my mom will die. Then he looked to his right and left, and he found a dog's tooth. And he picked that up and wrapped it silk. He gave it to his mother and told to her, this is the Buddha's tooth. His mom was so happy, and she offered the tooth many prostrations. She practiced like this for some time, and relics appeared from the dog's tooth. When she died, rainbows and many other auspicious signs appeared. This was through the power of her faith. There is also another story of faith. Would you listen it? Another story. Once in Tibet, there was a foolish man. He went on a pilgrimage to Lhasa. Tibetan people from Kham and Amdo, they often went to a pilgrimage to Lhasa. So this person too. And while he was there, he went to the Jokang. Jokang means temple. I think you all know, right? There was no caretaker in the temple the moment he arrived. And he saw the butter lamps and Dharma offerings, and he thought, oh, this Buddha statue, statue ate this food and dipped it into the butter. He thought the reason the butter lamps were lit was in order to melt the butter. So the statue could dip dry Dharma into melted butter and eat it. Then he thought, I should do the same. He picked up a piece of dry Dharma and dipped it into butter lamp and ate it. He looked up at the statue of Jowo, which is Buddha's statue. When I was first, I went to there. Really, I don't know that is a Buddha's statue, because usually Buddha's statues are like Nirmanakayas, right? But in the Chokan, this Buddha statue is like a Sambhogakaya. So first I thought that was material Buddha, or what is, who is that? Just, but anyway, that is a Buddha statue. Buddha, and it was smelling. Since it was painted that way, he said to the statue, if your food were eaten by dogs, you would still smile like that. And if the butter lamps in front of you would almost be blowing out by the wind, still you would smile. You are so kind. He said that. Then he removed his shoes and put them on the statue's lap. He said to the Jowo, Buddha statue, now I will go in front of the temple to circumambulate you. So please watch over my shoes. And so he left. When the caretaker of the sharing room returned, he was angry seeing the shoes, of course, on in the Buddha's lap, right? And he tried to take them away. But the statue spoke to him. It said, these belong to a foolish person who requested me to watch over them, so don't throw them away. After the foolish person circumambulated, he came back, and his shoes were still there. He said to the statue, oh, really, you are so kind. I invite you to come to my home next year. I have a pig. I will kill it and cook its meat. I have barley, and I will make chang. Chang means part of alcohol, right? And I will wait for you. Then the statue spoke and said, yes, I will come next year. And then the foolish person went back to his home and told his wife that he had invited the Jowos, Buddha Shakyamuni, right? The statue, because he communicated that with that. Jowo statue to come visit next year, but that he hadn't specified the date. He told her to keep watch because he was not sure when the Jowo Buddha would come. Then she paid attention, and one day when she went to the river to draw water to drink, something special appeared in the water. She went home quickly to tell her husband. She said, "Something appeared in the water. Perhaps this is the one whom you invited." Then he went to the river and he saw the exact same statue that he had seen in Lhasa there in the water. He jumped in the water and held the statue. He pulled it out of the water and brought it back with him. And just as they were arriving at his home, the statue spoke to him. It said, "I will not go to your home." And then the Jowo Buddha dissolved into a rock. So the foolish man committed some non-virtues, but his faith was very strong. That is why there is still the stone Jowo and water Jowo in Tibet, where people go to circumambulate. Next is verse 2. The Lord who seeks to help, who originates from the full moon of Bodhicitta, is the Guru of the world. In samsara, there really is no other to be found. Without compassion or bodhicitta and wisdom, then our fight becomes a superstition. But the Buddha is like a full moon. This is a metaphor. The full moon is the moon which increases from the first day up to the 15th. The Buddha means the completely ripening of bodhicitta. He has successfully accomplished bodhicitta, compassion, powers, and omniscience. If you doubt if he can help us or not, don't worry, he has powers. If you doubt if he can sincerely comfort us or not, don't worry, he has bodhicitta and compassion. If you doubt if he knows how to resolve my problems or not, don't worry, he has omniscience. Actually, we have many protectors, but they protect us temporarily. But Buddha protects us continuously until the end of samsara. Next is verse 3. How could the trinkets of others apparently find explanations ever compete with the words of the one whose meaning is like a wish fulfilling gem. Now we come to our second source of refuge, Dharma. In general, good discourse comes from good people. In the same vein, if I don't explain details here, you can guess the qualities of the Dharma. Because the Dharma came from the Buddha's mouth. And you already know about the Buddha. But here I will explain some details about Dharma. The definition of Dharma is that which transforms our minds from grasping to selflessness, ignorance to wisdom, anger to patience, jealousy to rejoicing, strangeness, right, to open-handedness, and so forth. The path and the cessation are also Dharma. The cessation is our real refuge because it is Dharmakaya. The path is the way to take refuge in this, and the Dharma introduces us to jewels. Without the Dharma, we cannot understand Nirvana. We cannot understand our Buddha nature. So, then there would be no practitioners. If people don't know Nirvana, then nobody practice Dharma. The Dharma books, scriptures, represent the jewel of the Dharma. So you should respect them. You should respect them. Next is verse 4. Whoever has a wise and honest mind sees that the Buddha's supreme doctrine that withstands the threefold analysis is like a lotus pond and goes there like a swan. Here, this verse gives us an image of the Sangha. The Sangha is our third refuge. refugee. It is called the friends for practice, or the lamas and the Sangha represent the jewel of the Sangha. You should be mindful of how you treat them. Even the red and the yellow colors represent the true jewel of the Sangha. So be mindful when seeing these colors. When I was a child, my parents often told me to respect red and yellow colors. So when I was walking on the road, if I saw a piece of yellow and red cloth, I would not walk over it. Instead, I would pick it up and place it somewhere higher or like in a tree. I have that habit, but now I do it less often. If we can do things like that, I think it would be great because it leads us to pure perception. Um, Next is verse 5. Who would not cleave to the refuge provided by the Buddha, who has completed his own and others' aims, and who possesses the 8 special attributes, such as not being knowing through descriptions by others, and so on. As this verse says, whoever now knows the Buddha and his attributes will without a doubt take refuge in him. The Buddha is the embodiment of the three kayas. Our corporal eyes can see him because he is Nirmanakaya. Our mind in meditation can perceive him as the Yadam deity because he is Sambhogakaya. We can rest non-dually with him because he is Dharmakaya. He is always inseparably with us. So if our faith is stable, then the Buddha's smile is always shining on us. from the boundless sky of His love. If our trust is unshakable, the Buddha's wisdom radiates like a full ultimate, ultimate moon in a pure expanse of sky. His eight special attributes ornament that vast space of his mind like stars in the night. The eight special attributes are according to the tantric vehicle. The Buddha naturally radiates compassion towards mother sentient beings. The Buddha naturally radiates the five wisdoms to the mother beings. The Buddha is naturally relaxed in non-dual awareness. From the Buddha, Yidam deities naturally appear like an array of stars. The Buddha completely relaxed in the intrinsic nature and therefore never gives rise to dualistic mind. The Buddha activities arise from his extraordinary powers. The Buddha purified all the subject and object of samsara. So for him, everything is primordially purity. Through the union of wisdom and compassion, he remains skillfully in the relative truth, liberating mother sentient beings. Then there is another explanation of the eight qualities of Buddha. First, the Buddha purified the earth element and his power became boundless. Second, Buddha purified the water element and he became free from all illness. Third, Buddha purified the fire element and his brilliant light provided everywhere. Fourth, the Buddha purified the wind element, so he can travel everywhere unimpededly, unimpededly, as fast as the wind. Fifth, the Buddha purified the space element, then he could go through all matter. Maybe you heard Yogi Milarepa's story, right? Mm. Sixth, the Buddha purified read the sun drop, which has received from his mom, so he could emanate many Nirmanakayas. Seventh, the Buddha purified white the moon drop, which has received from his father. So his mind is filled with great bliss. Eighth, the Buddha purified ordinary consciousness, primordial wisdom. So he could see all that is manifest in the three times. So everything is related, cause and effect. Buddha's qualities are related with cause and effects. Then, of course, over activities are related with the cause and the effects. Next is verse 6. For whom is the Dharma not a refuge, characterized as it is by the two truths, and add special attributes, such as being inconceivable, non-dual, and so on. Also, question mark. I can the rest of these sentences always have a question mark. So I hope you will understand. Otherwise, my sound I cannot make like a question. I will read. That's better. The question mark, full stop, right? Something. I mean, in this text, perhaps you have this book. You will read this. It has many verses. Okay. We understand that the Dharma is the second source of refuge, and that is good. Yet, we need to know the qualities of the Dharma are endless. But they can be summarized into 8. The first quality of Dharma is cessation, which means blocking the door to suffering, and it is result of path. As you practice on path, you establish all phenomena as simplicity. The second quality of Dharma is path, which means the steps to nirvana. It has 5 classifications. They are the path of accumulation. Right now we are path of accumulation because all the activities of accumulating virtues, they are including the path of accumulation. The path of yoni, this second path. Third, path of insight. This we call lamtong vipassana. Lamtong. Tibetan called lamtong. Path of meditation. Path of no more learning. This is Buddha's stage, the 5th. Path of 5. The third quality of Dharma is purity, which means being free of afflictive emotions and imprints of afflictive emotions. Afflictive emotion and imprint afflictive emotion has a big difference. Sometimes we can purify afflictive emotion. For instance, somebody using harsh words towards us, we be patient. At that moment, we being patient. At that moment, we purify afflictive emotion. But still, we have imprints of afflictive emotions. This is very difficult to purify. But never give up. Sooner or later, we can. The reason is this imprints of afflictive emotion. It is like seed of grass. If there is seed of grass, then it will growing. Then will grow something, some grass, like that. The fourth quality of Dharma is clarity. Purity, clarity is similar but not same. Quality of Dharma is clarity, which means being free from wrong view. The wrong view is we thought, oh, there's no cause and effects. There's no next life. There's no Buddha stage. These are wrong view. So due to Dharma practice, first we understand about cause and effect. Second, then we understand how to practice in the cause and effect. So that's where the fourth quality of Dharma is clarity. Clarity. The fifth quality of Dharma is remedy. Remedy, which means it has the method for liberation. In the Dharma text, how to be patient, how to be tolerant, how to generate Bodhicitta, how to purify this non-virtue, how to practice this virtue. Everything explained from Dharma, right? So through practice Dharma, then we can liberate. We will liberate. Dharma is full of the methods for liberation. The sixth quality of Dharma is inconceivable, which means it is the Dharma Dhatu. The seventh quality of Dharma is peaceful, which means free from karma and disturbing emotions. The eighth quality of Dharma is that it is unfathomable. Unfathomable, which means being beyond speech, thoughts, and descriptions. Also, the Dharma explains cause and effect through relative truth. By practicing in accord with cause and effect in relative truth, we arrive at ultimate truth, which means we become enlightened. In brief, Dharma is light to illuminate our wisdom. In a simple way, Dharma helps us to be a good person, have a good mind, and live a happy life. So the Dharma is necessary in this life, not always for the sake of next life. So even if you have no wish to enter nirvana, or you don't worry about the next life, still you should practice Dharma for the purpose of this life. For instance, if you are a parent in your family, applying the methods of the Dharma, you can lead your family to harmonious and enjoyable existence. Even if you are poor or even homeless, if you practice Dharma, the Dharma is your wealth and shelter. This means you don't feel poor and homeless. Can you trust me? I give you an example. For example, Malarepa, Yogi Milarepa, he stayed in isolated cave. But his happiness was unsurpassed. So he always sang joyfully songs. If you ask about yourself, where did live Milarepa? Or he lived in the mountainside, isolated place, right? Isolated cave. Okay. Did he have some food or not? No food, no clothes. Then we can imagine, oh, it's so poor. Maybe he always cry, or maybe he always suffering. But then we opened his, 100 million of songs? Then he always joyfully sing. So he always used that his hand next behind his ear, right ear, which means he was singer. He was joyfully singer. Of course, there's others some explain, but that is also. So then why Milarepa he became happy person? Before he became happy person, he has, since his mother gave birth to him, he was a happy person or not? No. He was angry person. He fight to many people. He did a lot of non-virtue. But after he received Dharma and practiced the Dharma, then he became happy person. So if Milarepa he stayed in isolated cave, and he sang joyfully songs. But we keep lots of money and then sometimes cry in the room. So this why we heard Dharma, we are practicing Dharma, but still it's over practice is what is called limited, right? Limited. Okay. Also, if you are in poor health, the way of thinking using the Dharma method, it will help you a lot. It's possible you could recover from your sickness. Like our Lord Jigten Sungbu. He got leprosy, but he practiced the Yidam deities and boundless compassion, and then he recovered. Also among his sayings are the words, if I'm sick, I'm happy because I am purified negative karma. If we can think like that, whether we recover completely or not, it will help us have less discomfort or pain and influence of the illness will be less. Next is verse 7. For whom is the noble assembly not a refuge, with its 8 special realization and freedom attributes, free as it is from the obscurations of attachment, impediment, and a lesser path, and with the realizations of how things are, what there is, and the inner. Question mark. Oh. Okay, this next verse is about the Sangha. I already taught about Buddha and Dharma, right? So probably we cannot finish all of the teaching of Sanghas. We cannot finish today, so I think today we will stop here, and another Sunday I will start from verse 7, which is about the noble assembly, noble Sangha. Okay, thank you very much. Sunamdaya tamje zebanye tovanye berdana panse de jega nanjo balondro seben zolendro wadro warjo. May every being ailing with the disease be freed at once from every malady. May all sickness that afflicts the living be instantly and permanently healed. Thank you very much.